Hi everyone, this is my discussion for this week's topic of options for readers and writers. Who do I think how do I see myself as a reader? I see myself as kind of a fast reader because I read about 10 to 15 books a month depending on the how long it is. If it's a short story, if it's a set of short stories, I usually read those a lot faster than I would a full-length novel. So the how many books a month I read it varies. So I read about 50 or so books a year. Has my personal reading habits and preferences really changed in relation to recent reading trends? I don't think so because I really don't go with the trends and what is out there as far as the trends and how people's reading habits have influenced me, because I really don't see anybody else's reading habits or the reading trends really influencing me on how fast or how slow I read. How do I typically read books? It's both ebook and print. Print copies that I like to read are from my favorite authors that I would like to have the collection of books to put on my bookshelf. Ebooks I read more because of just the flexibility of being able to carry an e-reader anywhere I go, that I'm going to be at the place for any length of time. And what my publishing path is I'm considering as far as a publishing path would be. In the beginning, I wanted to do the hybrid model, but I'm now leaning more towards, as I'm getting on in my writing career, I'm leaning more towards the self-publishing, because as like what Jane Friedman talked about, in traditional publishing, you lose all control over things like the book cover, the price, the format, and things like that. With self-publishing, if you really want to do it, it gives you the creative control over the things like the covers and the formats and where to distribute and the prices as well. And Amazon is one of the biggest places that you can self-publish, which is a good thing. And I'm not going to rule out traditional publishing at all, because I would love to do that route. So I kind of am, as far as decision wise, I'm kind of in between the hybrid model and being just total self-publisher, because I do plan to own my own small publishing company, which I will publish my books under while I am also pursuing traditional publishing. And that's why I feel that self-publishing is the best option for me, because of my genre, which is fantasy and paranormal. It is a lot more open as far as ebooks and being on like somewhere like Amazon and self-publishing and getting your books out there to readers who really want to read right then and stuff. And one of the examples of a traditional or self-published book that in my genre that I would like to emulate or inspired by, I have several. One of them is The Lord of the Rings. That's my main inspiration. And then the other is Anne Rice's Vampire Chronicles, because Anne Rice introduced me to vampires and that type of fiction as far as writing, and I really like that type of fiction. And the fantasy I was introduced to by Lord of the Rings, and how he created his own languages for some of his characters. And also there's Cheryl Lynn Kenyon, who writes the Dark Hunter series. It's urban fantasy, is one of my inspirations. And J.K. Rowling is another inspiration as far as the Harry Potter series because of the fantasy.